Sorry, this is Action and Comics 545 by Mark Wolfenstein and Jill Kang. And this is carrying on that story about Brainiac. It's the all-new, all-revamped, all-evil Brainiac. And the cover says, the hard Brainiac had the merest touch of humanity. The new Brainiac has eliminated that defect. Intriguing, innit? So Superman, he was bested by Brainiac at the end of last issue. So Brainiac captures him and takes him aboard his ship. He also finishes off decimating the planet he was attacking. And Brainiac, when he was upgraded, he witnessed the creation of the universe. And now he wants to go and find the Master. He wants to go and find, like, God. And his computer brain reckons that Superman is linked to the beginning of the universe. And this Brainiac, he is like fully machine. Like, he is 99% machine. And we see little hints of the 1% later on that isn't machine. But he is like constantly linked to his spaceship, his new ship. At least I think that is new. And as it turns out, it is the ship that seems to prove the major challenge for Superman. The greater part of this issue shows Superman trying to escape the ship that is full of death traps, the ship that Brainiac is in complete mental control of at all times. And when you take the ship and its capabilities into account, Mark Wolfenstein really did reinvent Brainiac as a substantially more powerful threat. The ship is like an extension of Brainiac. It is a part of him. So it should be considered. And with the ship, it raises Brainiac's power level and his power ranking into someone who can, like, destroy planets and shit. Superman, he escapes in a convenient spacecraft, which isn't really needed, considering Superman could have just flown away himself. And Brainiac, we have this bit where Brainiac, he starts to exhibit some emotion. He displays some dread with regards to Superman being free. So Brainiac, he is in pursuit of Superman, and this comic does a tremendous job of selling Brainiac and his ship as like a proper bother for Superman. In fact, to get away and stop Brainiac from following him, Superman has to fly through the sun. Now that is fucking selling a bad guy. You didn't need to have Brainiac beat up like Silver Surfman within an inch of his life to convince readers that he is a big deal. What worked was having Superman struggle, having Superman attempting to flee, having Superman having to fly straight through the sun as the only means of halting the chase. And then Superman, quite flippantly, decides to just gang home now and not be that bothered about Brainiac because he isn't an immediate problem. And that is something I didn't like. We had it last issue as well. Superman, he is very content to just ignore Brainiac or Lenny Luthor's if they are not directly threatening him. Very out of sight, out of mind. It doesn't seem like Superman. We've got some stuff here with the Daily Bugle, and then we start setting up a future story. The Suicide Squads, it's like a short-lived revamp of the Suicide Squads. That was a group of forgotten heroes. Here we have got Ripley, the Time Bandit. He is the leader of the team, and he is inducting new members, Scuba Steve and Caveman Carson. Not the most interesting of prospects so far, but we end this one with Brainiac. He has ravaged another planet, and now he has amassed an enormous intergalactic army of alien soldiers to help him attack Superman. I think this Brainiac revamp was really great, And it is forever a shame that after Christmas on Infinite Earths, we were effectively done with this iteration of the character. We still get elements and ideas of this version, but he's more or less back to being a lot less intimidating. For this one, Mark Wolfenstein and Jill Kang are getting a 7 thumbs up.